Hi, I'm Ben Bristow and I'm a tutor here at Point Blank. I've played in clubs all over the world, including Space and Ibiza, and had releases on Breakbeat Paradise and True Funk. I've always been sort of around music. My dad played guitar and harmonica. My granddad was a saxophone player as well. So I mean, I used to have my own little tape player when I was maybe like 3, and I'd have, you know, cassette tapes back in the olden days. Sort of hazy early memories of having my own collection of music, really. And I'd played drums before I'd ever learnt to DJ, and also piano. I had piano lessons when I was younger, so I kind of learnt sort of to a basic level several different instruments. Then I started DJing just because literally a friend of mine got decks, and we all used to bundle around his at lunch at school and start sort of mixing together. And then that really got me into making music, because I'd be recording mixes, want to kind of edit them, add little bits here and there, and then I started naturally kind of getting into remixing tracks. So I'd have, like, you know, different versions of tunes and stuff. I learned the basics of mixing just from friends teaching me. Obviously using decks all the time at school, and like in lunch breaks and stuff, I'd always be practicing sort of every day when I first started. And then I used to get like videos. I used to, you know, every Christmas I'd have a tutorial video would be on my wish list, and then I'd literally study it, especially for scratching and stuff like that. Obviously this was before YouTube, so I just used to kind of try and learn as much as I could about scratching when I kind of got heavily into that. I was into bands, and kind of, you know, the Beatles are a massive sort of, I loved the Beatles from a very early age. So I was more into like indie music and Oasis and things like that. Then when I sort of turned about 17, started getting more into dance music and electronic music. But I always listened to hip hop. I remember, you know, doing a paper round, and I'd have a Walkman and I'd be listening to NWA, Public Enemy, Tupac, all that sort of stuff. But more like I wanted to be in a band, really. I wanted to be a drummer or like a bass player. But then I got really into DJing sort of when I was about 17, sort of 18. Every term it's a new intake of students. Obviously you get to meet people from all over the world. It's always good to see people who learn, and then at the end of the course, you know, quite often we'll do a live gig where we see them perform using the skills they've learned after 3 months of DJing. So it's kind of rewarding to see how people progress over quite a short period of time. You know, and just finding out, like being in touch with people who are into different styles of music, I think is really good. Because, you know, I wouldn't have heard of half the things that I've got into if I hadn't been teaching and people had said, oh, listen to this tune. So it kind of keeps you up to date, I think, because you're getting a very wide opinion on music generally, yeah. We've been around for quite a while. We've got all the latest equipment. It's just a very good place to be in terms of learning the skills that you need to be, to become a professional kind of engineer or producer, I think. I'm just waiting for the day where decks don't need wires. That's what I'm waiting for. So you don't have to worry about plugging things in. It's all just going to work. Obviously there's this thing Kuvo, which has come out with a record box, which that's already in operation, where DJs, what they're playing is being transmitted to people's phones on an app. So more of that interactive kind of stuff where people can be aware of what performers are doing more, I think.